Hello all, it's James Johnson, aka Sulfurblade. Welcome back to my channel, welcome back to my content, and welcome back to Football Coach College Dynasty. Alright, so we are back here in Season 5. We're towards the end of it, coming into Week 13, the rivalry week against our rival Ball State. We're currently 8-0 in the conference, 10-1 overall, with our one loss coming to Nebraska. Yeah, so that's the current situation that we are at. We have a little bit of injuries going on. It shouldn't be a problem going against our rival. We should be the favorites. And hopefully we won't have any type of rivalry shenanigans where, let's face it, the game does tend to give your rival a little bit better chances if you're a far better team. I think it's just an algorithm thing to spice up the game. But we are heavy favorites by 24 points. So hopefully we can overcome any possible shenanigans our rival might throw at us today. Alright, we've chose heads. Northern Illinois has won the toss. We're going to pick to defer to the second half and play ball. Alright, it's first and 10. First and 10. First and 10. First and 10. And our defense is starting off the game asleep. Until I say something. Successful fourth down conversion, first and 10. Second and 1. Third and 5. Hey, we intercepted the ball. Excellent. And a good return as well. Alright, let's go right to the ground. Go back to the ground. Keep it on the ground. Alright, touchdown. We missed the extra point. Second and 6, first and 10, first and 10, second and 5, first and 10, second and 10, third and 10. Field goal defense. They missed their field goal. Excellent. None of this QB running this stuff. Well, looks like it's going to be a field goal for us. Second and 11, third and 5, fourth and 4. Letting the offensive coordinator have his way here. End around, huh? Okay, offensive coordinator. Never works. Alright, it is a little bit under 2 minutes left in the first half. And touchdown. First and 10. 2nd and 7. Clock has run out on the first half. 30-0. Looks like we're going to get another victory against Ball State, pending a miracle in the second half. Third and 4, 1st and 10, 1st and 10, 2nd and 3, 1st and 10, interception. None of that. Sure. Let's give it to our running back, please. We need to pad his stats. We want to see him become player of the year. Alright, they made a field goal. Goal line, halfback dive, successful 4th down conversion. Emmanuel Kemp. Who the hell is Emmanuel Kemp? Why is he running the ball? Let's go back to the starters, please. Touchdown. Holy crap. Peyton Burks? I thought he was injured. Alright, that'll finish up the game against our rival. So we've accomplished all the goals of the season. We are undefeated in the conference. So we're definitely going into the conference championship game, where we'll probably be considered the favorites, though that will be a difficult game. Miami, Ohio is a talented team. beat them earlier this year, we had the assistance of the rain. However, also when we defeated them earlier this year, we had a backup quarterback in the game. So we should be healthier this go around versus them. So hopefully everything will go well. Congratulations, you've been invited to the Mid-America Conference Championship. We have some signings here. Okay, Saul Anderson had 3 touchdowns that last game. Peyton Burks had a return for a touchdown. That was the most points our organization has had in a game. New record. No injuries? No new injuries. We have a bye. That should bring these guys back here. We won't be completely healthy. Even throwing that nil at this guy, we are still behind. Sadly, I don't think we're going to win this. And we've done as much as we're willing to do. Yes, I really would love to have this guy. He doesn't respond well to nil. Nil is not important to him. We might be closer than what we're being led to believe. We could be winning the battle. Who knows? We're just gonna hope we're winning this battle. I'm not doing anything more. Alright, league news. Anderson leads award race. The Northern Illinois running back leads this week's Player of the Year award watch. Very nice. Right, we are the favorites, obviously. And how are things looking for our guys? So we have a defensive lineman here working on defensive player of the year. That's interesting. We've got a redshirt freshman here, defensive lineman again. It's kind of the weaker part of our defense, and they're getting some credit, which is interesting. And there's our backup running back. He's almost pulled in 1,000 yards this year. That's pretty impressive. Alright, we're advancing through the bye week. People have healed. Safety, defensive lineman, linebacker. Safety. It's a big one. It's a pretty big one there. Alright, it's this guy. Everything accomplished. Go to recruiting. Gonna sort by points ahead. Go down to the bottom. And assign the best pitches, working our way up the line. Right, that's all the pitches assigned. Oh, we've done recruiting. Practice focus. Miami, Ohio is evidently a running team, as are we. We're going to stop the run. That's what we do. Alright, the big game. On paper, Miami, Ohio is more talented. Okay, none of these are major injuries. We are favored. Hopefully, we don't let things down here. This is going to be a rough game, no matter how we stack it. tails, we will defer to the second half. What is this? We have some snow? Light snow. See summary tab for how weather affects game. Okay, cold weather makes it slightly harder to grip the ball, catch the ball, and make tackles. The light snow makes it slightly harder to grip the ball, kick, throw accurately, and make evasive moves on the field. Alright, similar to rain, it should benefit us being a running team. Alright, 2nd and 6, 3rd and 5, 4th and 3. We held them. We're going to start off with a halfback dive. We're going to keep running. I wish to dominate on the ground. It's 4th down. We were stopped on 4th down. Son of a Peter. Okay. 2nd and 10. 3rd and 2. 4th and 1. We held them on 4th and short. A 44-yard field goal. I'm not feeling good about it. Not feeling good about punting here either. Medium pass. Play action. Nothing. Third and 13, 4th and 13. They made a field goal. No end arounds. Touchdown. They fumbled the ball. Touchdown. Touchdown. Alright, feeling a little better about that. I got a slightly comfortable lead on Miami, Ohio in the first half. It's coming down to the end of the first half, 2 minutes left. 3rd and 9, 4th and 4. Alright, we don't have any timeouts. This would be an awfully long kick for this kicker, wouldn't it? 54? Yeah, there's no way. All right. Oh, these end arounds. All right, 30-yarder. We made it. Second and 10, third and 10, first and 10, second and 10, third and 11. Excellent. Ooh, I think we're going to punt here. Let the clock run out on third quarter. Second and 12, first and 10, second and 1, first and 10, second and 8, first and 10, first and goal. Touchdown. It failed the 2-point conversion. Alright. Let's change this to chew clock. We're essentially 2 scores ahead with 11 minutes left in the ballgame. I don't feel comfortable with that 2 scores. I feel like this thing could change rather quickly. Third and 4, first and 10, second and 12, third and 9, first and 10, second and 11, third and 1, first and 10, first and goal, second and goal, third and goal, fourth and goal. Turnover on downs. They really wanted that touchdown. We fumbled. Oh, Jesus. See? It's a championship game, and funny things happen in these types of games. Now they're within a score. There's still 4 minutes left in this game. It's still not over. Yeah. All right, we're going to have slightly under 2 minutes to defend the majority of the field against them coming down to get a touchdown and a 2-point conversion. Second 11, third and 5, first and 10. Interception. Well, that changes things. Kneel on it. Let's get this championship. Let the clock run out. Excellent. Miami, Ohio is starting to wake up there at the end of the game. We were kind of asleep at the end of the game, but we held on to our lead. We got our first conference championship, guys. Woohoo. What does that mean for our ranking? And what does that mean for the big show? Are we going to end up going to the... Yeah, we won our conference. Did we make it in the top 25? Syracuse, Oregon, Nebraska, Colorado, Tennessee, UCLA. It's not looking good, is it? Florida, Boston College, Texas A&M, Arkansas, South Carolina, USC, Clemson. Holy shit, we're 12th? Okay, we're 12th. I think we're rated a bit high. Penn State, Rice, Notre Dame, LSU, Michigan, Oklahoma, Florida State, West Virginia, Alabama, and The Ohio State University is number 1. All right, we are facing Oklahoma. I think it's going to be a first round out in the playoffs here, but still, we should be pretty happy that we made the playoffs. So it's not going to be a bowl game for us this year. Or wait, there's probably a second round of bowl games that will be decided after we lose this game. So we'll probably get invited to one of the other bowl games once Oklahoma kicks our asses. All right. Congratulations, you made the playoffs as the number 12 seed. Okay, we have a bye week that'll help our offensive line get shorn up. I mean, let's be real, guys. We have a solid run game, a solid offensive running game that will allow us to hang around in the upcoming game. But we do not have the defense to shut down Oklahoma. Basically, we're playing for pride. We're going to have to chew a lot of clock, keep the score close. That's about the best we're going to be able to do, I think. Okay, we've done recruiting. So let's advance this bye week. Award ceremonies. Saul Anderson, Damian Bunch of West Virginia, Aiden Godina of Rice, quarterback Skylar Kane, Alabama, and Derek Milligan from Michigan. Who wins Player of the Year? Saul Anderson, our man. is Player of the Year in his junior year, no less. Excellent. Defensive Players of the Year: Adam Buckley, Clemson; Jaden Collier, Alabama; Joey Golden, Alabama; Edgar Hoffman, Wisconsin; and Darnell Moody, Penn State. The winner is Adam Buckley for Clemson. All right, Freshman of the Year. We got Jorge David, Maddox Felder, Florida State; Brendan Fernandez for UMass; Carter Givens for TCU; and John Goodman for Georgia State. Freshman of the Year is John Goodman. All right, Coach of the Year. This one might be interesting. Here we are. Coach of the Year is Brett Lima for West Virginia University. And for our conference, Corner Dalton, Kent. Not us, huh? Well, Kent is 9-3. They're perennially a fairly lower end squad, so that is a pretty good result for Kent in all actuality, so he's deserving. Right, All-Americans, first team, Saul Anderson. Did we get anyone on the first team defense? I doubt it. Anyone on second team offense? About second team defense? Nope. Third team offense? Third team defense? No. Alright, all conference. Our kicker gets all conference honors. That's incredible. Two offensive linemen. Peyton Burks, who was injured for the majority of the season. Okay, we got a few people on defense here. Even our punter. Wide receiver, offensive line, defensive line, linebackers. Okay, we had a lot of people winning conference honors this year. All right, there's our Player of the Year. All right, Peyton Burks is a senior. Jeremiah Tate's a senior. Billy Brady is the kicker that we thought might not ever kick his entire career. He's a senior. Trent Augustine's a senior. Trevor Carlson's a senior. Javon Thomas is a senior. Ernest Schaefer is a senior. But we have a fair number of younger people who have gotten conference honors this year, though, too. We already did this. You know, let's go here. There we go. All right. It's a little more pageantry, if you will, this way. Alright, now we can remove these targets. Points ahead. We still have this big fight down here. A plus 66 overall. I mean, this is really a good player. You know, can't help myself. I'm throwing another 150 at target. So that'll be 300k. We will be throwing the most nil at him. Right, practice focus. Ouch. Oklahoma 84 and 85. They are a talented team. We're going to run it and stop the ball. That's what we do. Yeah, we have people getting healthy this year, don't we? Or this offensive line. Let's just go through the entire roster and make sure everyone's appropriately. Yep, everyone looks good wide receiver wise. Tight ends look fine. Yeah, everything looks correct. What's the rule on redshirting? Is it less than 4 games? Come on. What is the redshirt rule? So basically what I'm wondering right now is, could I throw my freshman kicker in for this big game and he'll still technically be considered redshirted for the year? I know it might be a little bit of a cheesy tactic, but any advantage we can get. Nah, this is Oklahoma. We're not going to have any shot against them. Well, it would be certainly easier with a better kicker. Leaving if in early rounds. That could be a problem. Didn't think about that. He could get drafted. Alright, let's go. Let's go get our butts kicked by Oklahoma. Oklahoma is favored by 9 points. Look at that. Returner of the year, cornerback of the year. All of these blue players here versus our one lowly yellow player. Tails. Oklahoma wins the toss. Oklahoma is elected to defer to the second half. We're going to play ball. Alright, straight away. Jew clock. Right to the ground. They fumbled. Very nice. Touchdown. Touchdown for the under. Oh, we missed the extra point. Of course we did. Touchdown for the underdogs. 2nd and 7. 1st and 10. 2nd and 10. 1st and 10. 1st and 10. 2nd and 4. 1st and 10. 2nd and 8. 3rd and 8. 1st and goal. 2nd and goal. Touchdown. Oklahoma's up 7-6. To the ground. Make the player of the year earn his reward. Or award, not reward. Alright, let's play for better kick position here. Missed. Alright, Oklahoma's up. Punting. Ten seconds. Made a field goal. Okay. Another field goal. And we're punting. And we're punting. Alright, we are down more than I would want to be. Can we get a little bit of offense going on, guys? Come on, I'd like to make this a little respectable. Didn't want a complete blowout. Alright, they missed a field goal. Can we capitalize on this? Interception. They're kneeling on it. Yeah, in this game. Alright, well, what happened? Happened. The expected outcome happened, guys. We do not have the talent to compete with the number 4 team in the nation. Just don't. Have one of your players win player of the year. Nice. Players recovered from injury, so our linebacker's back. Yeah, I don't think we're going to get invited to any bowls. That was essentially our bowl, was that game. Still, definitely a good season. Nothing to be ashamed of. Hopefully we can hold it. No. That's one I want to see with all the pageantry. That's the one we've been fighting for all year. Western Michigan one. 91 points off. We almost had this guy. It's about as close as you're gonna get in a battle. Alright, that's too bad. He was definitely a very talented young man. This guy, I don't know why he hasn't committed yet. It's obvious he's coming to us. All right. Ohio State beat Alabama. Oklahoma finished off number 4. Okay, 2027 expectations, win at least 8 games. Greatly exceeded expectations. We increased the fan base. Fan base passion has increased from D to C. And our coach integrity went up. All pretty good things. Alright, time to see how the coaches did. Okay, I gained 3 levels. And a badge. Very nice. So we'll max out training and recruiting. And what is our new badge? Offensive line recruiter. It's going to be hard to ignore that one. Defensive line developer. Blocker recruiter. Man-to-man recruiter. Big hitter recruiter. Receiver back recruiter. Alright, there's the development on the defensive line. I like development badges. However, what I like even more is being able to win the battles for whatever offensive linemen I want to have. Offensive linemen are the key to everything, in my opinion. I I am a coach who believes that the game is won in the battle of the line, and the offensive line is your most important unit of the game. Quarterback be damned, the offensive line. If you have the best offensive line, you likely have the best team. So offensive line recruiter is going to be my choice. Offensive coordinator. No skill badges, just 2 points. So recruiting and training. All right, defensive coordinator. He's got a badge. And we're going into recruiting. Defense gains +3 strength in goal line situations. All defensive players get +1 zone coverage in game. All defensive players get +1 speed in game. Cornerback developer. Dominant blocks. All defensive players get +1 block shedding in game. Blitzkrieg. Defense gains +2 block shedding on blitz plays. Strength kills. All defensive players get +1 strength in game. All cornerbacks and safeties injuries are shortened by 2 weeks. Ah, boy. Speed kills and strength kills, they're both interesting. Developing the cornerback is interesting though as well. Speed kills. This is a very solid coach. I'm gonna have to start worrying about him being poached to become a new head coach somewhere. Actually, I'm just gonna jot Lewis's name down here, Lewis Park, and my offensive coordinator's name as well, Wyatt car, as there is the outside chance our coaching team is getting split up this year. Be it me leaving, one of them leaving, somebody could be leaving this year. Okay, offensive coordinators, current contract has expired. Sorry, I want to keep my options open. Defensive coordinators is still active. Renegotiate contract. I'm not quite ready to renegotiate contract right now, as I don't know about my own contract. All right, Boston College. Indiana in the Big Ten. You know, Boston College seems like the first actual upgrade we've been offered here. However, is it good enough to lure me away from a squad that is really blossoming right now? I mean, Oregon State wouldn't be horrible. Indiana's a Big Ten squad, but man, they're a small fish in a giant pond. How do you win in the Big Ten when your squad is the little fish, right? But look at that, Boston College. They've got a fairly decent program going on there. 10-3. Nah, I can't do it. I mean, Boston College is a solid job. It would be a move in the right direction. But I'm greedy. I just don't feel like Boston College is a big enough move in the right direction. I might regret that, but I really want to have I want to get into a more elite squad than Boston College. So we're going to view our offer from Illinois. Stay at Northern Illinois with the current contract. This coach has decided to sign a contract with a different team. You could try to retain them with a counter offer. Oregon State Beavers, huh? No, 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 no. You're not taking my coach, Oregon State. Let's make a counter offer. Okay. Make a counter offer. feeling he was going to be sought after here. We're going to pay it. Okay, we've kept the band together. Alright, players leaving. There are players leaving school early to enter the draft. Some can be convinced to stay with coach promises or nil deals. Cannot convince to stay. Player wants to enter the draft. He's in the first round. Alright, well that's sad. But cool. Nonetheless, one of our players is going in the first round. That's a big deal for us, right? That's prestigious. That talks to our program. It's a good thing and a bad thing all at the same time, because we could have really used him this year. But we have a strong offensive line, so any running back we have can have a good year. Okay, graduating players. Okay, these are the future impact players. Julian Wolf. He's going to have to take over the load. I expect he's going to be in the 80s. All right, save and advance. Dickie, what is wrong with you? I don't understand this guy. He's likely going to be the starter this year, right? Didn't our quarterback just leave? Yeah, he's projected first in the depth chart. Look. You need to stay around. We need to cut one person. A redshirt freshman? No. Sophomore? Freshman? Come on, is there a junior down here that's... Alright, here's a junior that's 7th in the depth chart as an offensive lineman. Actually, here's a junior that's 3rd in the depth chart as a running back with D potential. Alright, this guy's 13th in the depth chart, 14th in the depth chart. A minus, B. I think if this is the guy. Alright, let's watch the pro draft. See how our boy does. Sixth pick, first round. Who did he go to? It doesn't tell us that. No, it doesn't really do. That's sad. But I guess it would be another. It would be a problem, right? NFL teams are trademarked, if you will. You would have to do the same thing they do with the college teams, which the reason we have the correct college teams in our game is because of a mod. We modded them in. But then, yeah, I understand. Oh, we didn't really look at who was transferring. Well, we can see it now, I suppose. Let's go to all recruits, transfers. Yeah, we'll just look at everybody. We'll sort by overall. Junior, 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 freshman. Not interested in us. Here's an A- freshman wide receiver. He would be an impact player. We'll target him just for schmitz and giggles. Freshman A-, target him just for the funsies. Interesting guy. Another interesting guy. A sophomore running back. He could immediately compete for the starting lineup. His durability kind of sucks, but we don't necessarily need him to be a workhorse. Having more than one running back never hurts anything. I'm interested in him, and he's actually interested in us while we're at it, which is odd. B+, freshman, tight end. Interesting. Alright, let's sort this by... Are we leading in any of these transfers? Now, of these people we're leading in, are any of them somebody we'd actually want? I see a B+ sophomore here. That's interesting. We'll give him a target. Alright, that's probably enough wish listing of people we're probably not going to put any effort into. Because we've already got a full squad, but again, these guys that we just targeted would be immediate impact players. They would probably go right into the starting lineup, with the exception of this guy who's, you know, he's part of our normal recruiting class. Right, we will just do a normal pitch on this guy. If we can get him relatively cheap without having to spend nil, which is unlikely, but it's unlikely we can get any of these guys without spending any nil. The question is, do we want to spend nil? This guy I'm interested in as well. So, I mean, all these guys are intriguing. Wow, A+ durability. We're able to give ace pitches to all of these guys. We really, our recruiting is starting to come together. Alright, so next turn, alright, next we're going to advance. In this next turn we will make the hard decisions whether or not we actually want to take a stab at anyone. Let's just go from the bottom up. I am probably most intrigued with this running back. So we're competing with Ohio State and Illinois. He likes his nil, evidently, which is technically a bad thing, I believe, because Ohio State, they got the nil. What is his market value? I mean, he's kind of a luxury, right? We'll take a stab. I don't think I should be taking a stab. We'll go minimum value. We'll throw an offer at this guy. 604 is his market value. No. We'll toss 300k at him. I don't want him that much. I mean, he wouldn't be bad. I'm not even convinced he's a starter at this point. He would just give us better depth. No, clear that. We'll just give it, we'll offer him a scholarship. If somehow we win by just offering him a scholarship, goes through, then we'll ponder who we're going to cut to fit him on the squad. These other guys. We are a long way out of this battle. The safety's pretty good. We're not too far outside of the battle on the safety. Maybe we'll take a stab at the safety. And we're going to have to be spending a lot of money on our coaches this year too. I probably can't afford to win one of these free agents. Although next year is our big year, right? It's year we're projected to do something better than what we did this year. And what we did this year is going to be hard to top. Alright, that's really the closest battle we have here. Do we... No. No. Well, we can give him a scholarship offer. Alright. Let's see how our half-hearted attempts at winning some of these guys turns out. Alright, this is the guy that we should probably get because we've been... What? Hold on. What just happened here? Isn't that the guy we've been... He's not... Is he a transfer? Yeah, high school. Exceeded max scholarships. Are you kidding? So we lost him because of the scholarship situation. Well, that's interesting. Okay. I don't think we were well, we were actually trying for this guy. Half-heartedly so, though. Running back was the guy I was most intrigued by, right? Exceeded max. We technically won, but we couldn't get him because of the scholarship situation. Alright, so it looks like we don't get an opportunity to do cuts after this. We have to cut prior to this if we're going to sign anyone. Alright. Learn the hard way, I suppose. We could have won this deal. Oh well. Huh. We actually won this guy, but we didn't get him because I didn't have room on the squad. Well, probably a good thing. Probably didn't need those guys, really. Didn't need to spend the nil. Okay, we are now a 5 prestige team. That's cool. Okay, we managed not to spend any nil, so we don't have to invest anything into that. Let's resolve the damn 8.2 million for our coaching staff these days. Our coaching staff is getting expensive. Spend to cover maintenance. Spend to cover maintenance. Spend to cover maintenance. Spend to cover maintenance. No, that's not really what I wanted to do. Reset, please. Spend to cover maintenance. Okay, so we have 25.3 million to play with. And everything should be what it has been. To get to level 9, we can afford it. Honestly, I think facilities is the most important of the facilities, right? So that's going to get us 12.25 bonus to player development off season. 38 scout percent for recruit camp visits. It's really the off-season bonus that I'm most concerned with. All right. Our marketing is technically the lowest thing. What are we gonna get for upgrading it to level 5? Can we afford to? We can, just barely. That would give us a D for home proximity grade for faraway recruits. No offers have 12% bonus to recruiting points per dollar. Prestige gain per year given a 3% bonus. Give a plus 15 poll vote bonus for team rankings. I mean, not the greatest things, but I think it's what makes sense, right? It's our lowest level item, so we will go with it. So we'll be rank 5, rank 5, rank 6, rank 5. Are we going to put the rest into facilities? Yeah, probably. So we have spent our money. We've gone up to 30. 5 prestige. Not bad. Okay, save in advance. Yeah, we're not adding anything to the nil budget, but thanks for letting me know. Incoming booster. No realignment. Alright, I like to get my loss out of the way at the beginning of the year. Who wants to beat us this year? Florida State says we're interested in that. They the only ones? They seem to be. Alright, this Nevada one will get us paid a little bit. And then we have a what about our current contracts? Okay, can we put this contract here? And can we put the Nevada contract here? Okay. So we'll get paid $1 million in a game that's actually winnable. Then we have Northwestern here that's winnable. Florida State will probably be a loss. Right, how is our... Got Kent State on the schedule, though. I don't expect them to be repeating last year's performance. Central Michigan, Akron, Toledo's always hard. Ohio. We have no Miami, Ohio this year. Interesting. I see us having another great year. I mean, I should almost take away the Florida State game so that we can go undefeated through the course of the year. At the same time, I think we want the extra money from the Florida State loss. Yeah, we want the money. Okay. So last year we were in 80-77. 80 on offense, 77 defense. we did lose our Studley running back. I have no plans to do any position changes. Alright, I want a good off-season. Good off-season gains here. Come on. No whammies, big bucks. Here we go. I mean, there's always the outside shot that we could be good enough that we might actually give Florida a run for their money in week 1. That depends on what happens here. Right? We have a nice Studley offensive lineman. Julian Wolf, good gains. Nice gains. That's, yeah, ball security 101. Definitely like that. Speed, evasion, strength, all really good. I think Julian Wolf's going to be able to jump in where our last guy left off. Linebacker. Offensive lineman that went nowhere. Got a little bit of durability and strength. Alright, this is nice. So we got at least 3 offensive linemen in the 80s. I'll make that 4. Alright, here's Dickey. Our freshman kicker. Got some punt power. What the hell? He regressed. His kick power went from 81 to 79. He went backwards. Son of a... Okay, where's the 5th offensive lineman at? I'm not liking this. I'm having to scroll far too... way down here. You're the 5th offensive lineman. Okay. 58 guys in the 70s or better. One person still in the 50s. Any huge gainers? Nice linebacker gain here. Ooh. This defensive lineman's like, hey, put me in, boss. Well, he became a better punter. So our punter went in the right direction. Our kicker didn't, though. Alright, let's save and advance. Yeah, I'm fine with the game plan. To get a better look at how our squad looks this year compared to last year. Alright, here's our expanded QB roster. So these guys are going to be competing to take over for Dickey when he leaves. They're all looking alright. Gage is our current backup, and he pretty much sucks. Alright, running back situation. Got a bunch of freshmen down here. Alright, this redshirt freshman has decided he wants to get the ball. .63 run blocking, 66 pass blocking. We could turn him into a fullback. His strength is a little on the weak side. His durability sucks, though. Alright, Emmanuel Kemp is meh. Nothing special here. Nothing special there. Alright, not as much depth at running back. We're weaker this year at running back. But we still have a solid guy. We might have to pass it a bit more this year. So how's that looking for us? .96 speed, 89 catching. Definitely looks solid. Other receivers are serviceable. Tight ends, actually, tight ends are better this year. Straight up, tight ends are definitely better this year. And then the position that matters. Junior, senior, sophomore. Run blocking, run blocking, run blocking. We've got strong run blockers. Here's our kicking situation. Our defensive line is better this year, straight up. Definitely all around, altogether better this year, although it's on the older side. But he's a junior. That's nice to see. Linebackers. About the same, maybe slightly better. Corners went backwards a little bit. We had 280s corners here, but 79 corners aren't bad. So I think we dropped off a little bit at the corners position here. Safety, I think we've stayed about the same. So technically, I believe our defense got stronger this year. Our offense, I think, technically got stronger this year because I think the tight ends are better. I'm concerned about how Dickey's going to perform this year. I think we're going to need to put some effort into running back number 2. I think he'll get a large percentage of our attention during off season. This particular offensive lineman, I think we might work on. He might end up our 5th offensive lineman. And then we have to work on the kicker. I think we're going to be training the corners a little bit this year. The secondary is going to get a bit more focus than normal, than our normal way of going about training. All right, the squad looks fine. I think we technically have a better squad this year than we did last year. I'm thinking it's around 80, 78, 80, 79-ish, or maybe 79, 79. Somewhere in there, which is technically better than the 80, 77 we had. Anyway, I'm James Johnson, aka Softwareblade. This is my content. Hopefully you're enjoying it. If so, please smash that like button, consider subscribing, and until the next time, all, peace.